Hello, future RNs! Welcome to the first of the practice test series in nursing. The subject for this video is Fundamentals of Nursing or Foundations of Nursing Practice. Number 1, the eudaimonistic model of health views health as. As eudaimonistic or eudaimonistic or eudaimonistic, pare-pareho lang yon. What I suggest you to do is i-pause mo muna yung video and then read the options and then answer. Pag tapos mo na, then resume. O sige, tingnan natin ang tamang sagot. The correct answer to this question is letter B, the realization of a person's potential. This is the most comprehensive concept of health. Illness is the inability to realize potentials. Yung letter A, flexible adaptation to the environment. This refers to the adaptive model. Here, disease is failure in adaptation. Yung letter C naman, the absence of disease. This is the medical or clinical model. This is the narrowest concept of health. Ito usually ang ginagamit ng mga doktor kasi nga ang focus nila is curative. So pag wala silang makitang disease na i-cure, para sa kanila, healthy na yung tao. Letter D, the inability to fulfill societal roles is the role performance model. Kahit may sakit ka, kung nagagawa mo yung kailangan mong gawin related to your societal role, then considered na healthy ka. Number 2, the basic aspects of wellness include all of the following except. Again, pause the video, answer, and then resume. So, tingnan natin ano ang tamang sagot. According to the National Wellness Institute, wellness is an active process. So, letter B, it's dynamic. So, that's true. It's an active process through which people become aware of and make choices. So, making choices involves self-responsibility. So, letter C is true. Towards a more successful existence. So, letter A, it encompasses the whole person because it is pertaining to the existence of the whole person. Kaya yung A, B, and C ay pare-parehong true. Letter D ang correct answer kasi ang hinahanap natin ay something that's false. Decision making is left to health professionals. Ang namimili dito ay ang tao mismo. And to summarize, wellness is an active state of being healthy by living a lifestyle that a person has chosen that promotes health. Number 3, which of the following is an example of the intellectual component of wellness? Again, stop mo muna yung video, sagot, tapos kakabumalik. Okay, tingnan natin yung options. Letter A, an overweight person starts exercising. Of course, hindi yan intellectual, physical yan. Kaya mali yan. Letter B, a first-time mother seeks instruction on newborn care. The keyword here is instruction. Gusto niya matuto. So, kailangan mag-isip siya para matuto siya. Kaya, yan ang tamang sagot. That is intellectual. Letter C, a wife verbalizes frustration over her controlling husband. Frustration, yun ang nararamdaman niya. So, this is the emotional component. And letter D, a student joins a fraternity. This is the social component. Aside from these components, meron pang ibang components. First is occupational, related to work. Spiritual is related to your relationship with God or a supreme being. And environmental is related to your ability to control your environment for your purposes. Number 4, a client thinks that she's at risk for breast cancer because of her family history. She sees breast cancer as a life-threatening disease. She has read that the most important factor in cancer management is early detection and treatment, so she now performs BSE monthly. She wants to have a mammogram but she cannot afford it. This situation illustrates which health model. Again, pause muna, sagot, tapos saka ka bumalik. Alright, tingnan natin yung mga options. A and B, clinical saka role performance model. Hindi yan tamang sagot. Na-take up na natin yan, pero i-review ulit. Clinical model says, health is the absence of disease. Role performance model says that health is the ability to perform one's role. Pero, hindi yan tama. Letter C, agent to host environment model. Ang sinasabi dito sa model na to, yung interaction daw ng agent, ng host at ng environment ang magdedetermine kung magkakasakit o magiging healthy yung tao. Example, COVID-19, ang agent doon ay yung virus. But the presence of the virus will not automatically mean na magkakaroon yung host ng sakit. Kasi nga, merong host factors. For example, may virus nga, pero immunized naman yung tao. Mataas ang kanyang resistance. O hindi siya tatablan ng agent. Hindi siya magkakasakit. Let us assume yung host ay hindi immunized. Pero meron pa rin namang environment factor. So, For example, yung host ay nakatira sa isang community na layo-layo ang mga bahay, kokonti lang yung mga tao at halos walang contact yung mga tao with one another. Nagkaroon ng isang tao na nag-positive for COVID-19 pero walang nahawa sa kanya kasi wala naman siyang contact dun sa mga kapitbahay niya kasi ang layo-layo ng mga bahay sa isa't isa. Hindi pa rin yan ang tamang sagot. So the correct answer is letter D, health belief model, which states that your belief will determine your actions. Dito sa model na to, dalawa ang sets ng beliefs. The first set is the beliefs or perceptions about a disease. The second set is the beliefs or perceptions about a preventive action. So yung first set muna, perceived seriousness of the disease. Diba ang sabi dito? The client sees breast cancer as a life-threatening disease. Then perceives susceptibility to the disease. In first sentence, the client thinks that she is at risk for breast cancer because of her family history. Kaya, ang tingin niya dun sa breast cancer is a threat. Yung second set naman, yung perception about the preventive action. She has read that the most important factor in cancer management is early detection and treatment, so she now performs BSE monthly. So, ang tingin niya sa breast health examination, ito ay effective in terms of preventing the disease. So, meron siyang perceived na benefits. She also perceives that a mammogram is beneficial. Pero, meron namang isang perception, which is perceived barrier. Ang barrier dito ay cost. Hindi niya ma-afford yung mammogram. Kaya, yan ang health belief model portrayed in the situation. Number 5, which of the following persons illustrates the sick role? Again, stop ka muna, sagot, tapos saka bumalik. Okay? According to Parsons, nag-formulate ng concept ng sick role. The sick role has 4 components. And let's see what are these components and let's apply it to the options. First component is that the sick person is exempt from his social roles. And this is true with letter A. A student says, I'm ill, I cannot take my exam today. Merong expected na responsibilities na kailangan niyang gawin. Yung role niya sa student, kailangan mag-aral siya at kailangan siya mag-take ng exam. Pero since may sakit siya, okay, allowed lang siya na hindi continue paggawa ng mga ganong responsibilities. So ito yung tamang sagot. O yung letter B naman, an obese client says, if I die because of my weight, there's no one to blame but me. Kung mamatay ako dahil sa katabaan ko, kasalanan ko na rin yon. Hindi ito ini-illustrate ang sick role kasi ang second component of the sick role is that the person who is sick is absolved of responsibility for his illness. Hindi natin sinisisi yung tao na siya ay nagkasakit. Hindi niya kasalanan. Okay, letter C. A client who's depressed stops taking his medications. And sabi dun ni Parson, the third component is that the sick person should try to get well. Kung depressed ka tapos stop mo ang pag-take ng medication, then you're not trying to get well. Kaya mali ito. In letter D naman, a man who says, I'm not seeing a doctor for my severe weakness, it will go away. Sabi ni Parson, the sick person should seek competent help. Kaya mali rin yan. Number 6, which states of illness is shown by an ill person who says, I feel so awful, my head is splitting, I can hardly breathe, and I know I've got a fever. Stop muna ang video, sagot, tapos ka mo i-resume. Okay, tingnan natin kung anong tamang sagot. Si Suchman ang nag-identify ng 5 stages of illness, and 4 of those 5 stages are actually arranged chronologically in the options from stage 1 to stage 4. Tingnan natin yung A, which is stage 1, symptom experience. Kaka-experience ng symptoms ng pasyente, pag tinignan mo yung question, naka-enumerate nga yung mga symptoms. So, obvious, yan ang tamang sagot. Pero tingnan natin yung stage 2, letter B, assumption of the sick role. Since naka-experience siya ng symptoms, then, kinokonclude niya na may sakit siya at ina-assume niya ang sick role, gini-give up niya ang kanyang responsibilities, and it becomes acceptable. Third stage, letter C, is medical care contact. Nagko-consult siya sa isang health professional. Fourth stage is dependent patient role. Under the care na siya ng health professional, so magiging pasyente siya. At dependent siya sa health professional for decision making kasi yung health professional ang expert. Wala dito sa options na to yung stage 5, which is recovery, or rehabilitation. Hindi lahat ng tao ay pumupunta sa recovery kasi kung minsan namamatay, di ba? Kung minsan naman, chronic pala yung illness at hindi na nakaka-recover. 7. When a nurse is asked why she refuses to teach an 80-year-old client how to take charge of her diet as part of discharge teaching to a diabetic, she states, she's too old to learn. The nurse is demonstrating. Again, stop muna yung video, sagot, tapos ka bumalik. Alright, letter A, ethnocentrism. This is the belief that one's culture is best. Superior ang kultura namin, kayo ay inferior. Hindi yan ang tamang sagot. Letter B, cultural imposition. Ini-impose yung kultura. So one culture imposes their values and beliefs onto another culture or subculture. Kami dapat ang masusunod, kung ano ang paniwalaan namin, yun dapat ang paniwalaan din ng iba. Kung ano ang practice namin, yun din dapat ang maging practice ng iba. Again, this is the wrong option. C. Cultural competence, ability of a person to respect differences in cultures and to respond appropriately to these differences. Kaya kung ang ethnocentrism at cultural imposition ay napaka-negative na aspects, ang cultural competence naman ay positive. Pero hindi pa rin yan ang tamang sagot. The correct answer is stereotyping, which is generalization about a particular category of culture. Lahat ng mga matatanda ay too old to learn. Hindi na yan matututo. Which is not true kasi merong mga unique characteristics ang different individuals, di ba? O kaya sasabihin na lahat ng mga lalaki ay mga cheaters. Lahat ng mga babae ay emotional. Hindi rin totoo yan kasi may mga uniqueness ang mga tao. But that is stereotyping kasi nag-generalize siya. So, yun ang tamang sagot. Which of the following is most basic for a culturally competent nursing care? Ang hinahanap ay most basic. Again, stop mo muna yung video tapos magot and then come back after you have answered. Okay, let's see the options. Letter A, treating every client as an individual. Tama yan. Letter B, learning the language of the client. Tama rin yan. C, having adequate information about different cultures. Tama rin yan. D, knowing that the family is important in different cultures. Tama rin yan. So, tama lahat. Kaya, hanapin natin, among dito sa mga tama na to, wala tayong ma-eliminate, kailangan tingnan natin ano ba yung most basic. And the most basic option is letter A, treating every client as an individual. Whether coming from the same culture or different culture, we look at clients as unique persons and we respect and accept the uniqueness of this client. Number 9, a client says, nasusuka ako. What type of data is this? So stop the video, answer, and then come back after answering. Alright, anong tamang sagot dito? This is letter A, subjective. Subjective data ang tatandaan mo, SS. S for subjective, S for stated. Tapos another term for subjective is covert kasi hindi nakikita. Yung letter B naman, objective, ang tatandaan mo naman ay OO. Objective, observed, tapos there's another O which is overt. Pare-pareho yan. Yung letter D naman, sign, that is also objective because this is something that can be seen. Number 10, the 11 to 7 nurse endorses that client A does not have any special skincare needs. But while giving a bed bath, you notice redness over the sacral area that persists even when pressure is relieved. Which of the following actions is appropriate? So, stop mo muna yung video, tapos sumagot, and then come back after you're done. Okay, let's see the options. A, correct the initial assessment done by the 11 to 7 nurse. Oy, bawal to. Hindi mo ginagawa na nakikialam ka sa charting ng ibang nurse. So, mali yan. Letter B, conduct and document a thorough head-to-toe assessment. Mali rin yan kasi a thorough head-to-toe assessment is not needed. Letter C, conduct and document a focus assessment on skin integrity. Okay, this is the correct option. Meron kasing finding which was not noted in the initial assessment, so dun ka lang mag-focus. Letter D naman, conduct and document a thorough assessment of the client's mobility. This is not needed kasi although you might be thinking, ay, gagawin ko to kasi most likely kaya siya nagkakaroon ng redness ay dahil immobilize siya. hindi lang naman immobility ang nagkakos ng redness do sa sacral area. Pwedeng may mga factors that promote skin irritation. Tapos, pag mobility kasi, this is thorough assessment ang sinasabi. So, hindi lang doon sa back, but kasama pa pati lahat ng mga parte ng katawan ay i-assess mo yung mobility. So, this is not needed. Number 11, you detected a pulse rate of 120 in a client who's scheduled for surgery in an arm. What should you do first? Sige, stop muna yung video, sagutin, tapos saka bumalik. Alright, tingnan natin yung options. Letter A, validate your finding. Yung pulse rate na 120, mataas yan kung ang pasyente mo ay isang adult. Kaya, anong una mong gagawin? Find out first, ano ba yung factors na nag-cause kung bakit tumaas itong pulse rate niya. Baka naman very anxious siya, tapos nag-exercise pa siya. Kaya, ang gawin mo, ulitin mo yung pag-take ng pulse rate. Anyway, it's very easy to take it. Bago mo i-report kung talagang kailangan mong i-report. Huwag mo lang i-document yung finding mo kasi baka naman abnormal talaga yung pulse rate ng pasyente tapos baka ma-overlook kung sinulat mo lang tapos hindi mo naman ni-report sa surgeon. Yung letter D option obviously is wrong kasi antipyretic walang kinalaman yan sa pulse rate. At hindi ka basta-basta nagbibigay ng antipyretic kasi most likely nga for surgery yung pasyente in an hour, baka naka-NPO siya. Number 12, what type of nursing diagnosis will apply when a client has a higher chance to develop a problem as compared to others in a similar situation? Again, stop, answer, and then resume. Alright, let's see the options. A, wellness diagnosis, that's a statement that indicates that the patient has readiness for engaging in activities that promote health. So, ready siya na gumawa ng activities para maging healthy siya or even healthier. That's why this is also known as health promotion diagnosis. So, hindi yan tama. Letter B, actual diagnosis. Here, there is already an existing problem. Dito sa situation, wala pa. Meron na siyang higher chance to develop a problem. Kaya mali ito. Letter C, possible diagnosis. Here, merong suspected problem. Pero hindi sure ang nurse kung present na ba o wala pa itong problem. Kasi suspected pero kulang o unclear ang data. So, the correct answer is letter D, risk diagnosis. Pag risk diagnosis, wala pa yung problema but there is a chance that a problem will develop unless the nurse is going to intervene. Number 13, a client has the following problems: low self-esteem, impaired gas exchange, impaired social interaction, risk for infection, and moral distress. Rank these problems using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So, stop muna yung video, sagot, tapos saka bumalik. Okay? Tingnan natin kung ano ang tamang sagot. Ang tamang sagot actually is option letter B. Bakit? Kasi ang unang number dyan ay number 2. Balikan ninyo yung situation. Number 2 is impaired gas exchange. That is physiologic need. What's the next number? Number 4. Ano sa situation? Risk for infection. That is under safety and security. Next number is number 3. Ano ang number 3 dyan? Impaired social interaction. That is under love and belonging. And then, number 1, very obvious, low self-esteem is under esteem. Tapos, yung number 5, moral distress, is under self-actualization. Number 14, Anne, a client who wants to stop vaping, consults a nurse. One of the outcomes that Anne and the nurse planned is that Anne can explain the relationship between vaping and respiratory and non-respiratory disorders. Which of the following terms applies to this outcome? Okay, so, stop mo muna yung video, sagutin mo, tapos kakabumalik. Alright, ano ang tamang sagot dyan? Can explain. Kaya, the correct answer is letter A, cognitive. Kasi, it is something that is regarding knowledge. Pag psychomotor, skills yan. Pag affective naman, mga values, mga attitudes. And of course, physical ay tungkol sa body. Obvious naman na hindi physical yan kasi kailangan nga mag-explain siya. Bago tayo pumunta doon sa last item, I just want to remind you that words and thoughts are powerful. So use the power of words and thoughts to get what you want. Leave a comment of self-affirmation. So go to the comment section, Mag-type ka ng comment kung anong gusto mong mangyari sa iyong buhay. Kung ano ang gusto mong mangyari, gusto mong maging RN, gusto mong pumasa, whatever it is, the more often that you do it, the more often that you think of it, and the more often that you say it, the more likely that what you are thinking and saying would come true. Okay, last item na. Which of the following is the correct example of evaluative statement for Anne? So, stop mo muna yung video, sumagot, tapos saka balikan. Alright? Ano ba ang dapat na present sa isang evaluative statement? Dapat ay nandoon yung date. Kailan ka nag-evaluate? Tapos, kailangan merong statement kung anong nangyari sa outcome. And then, the last component is that dapat merong statement din na nagsusupport or evidence na ganon nga ang nangyari sa outcome. And there is only one option that meets all of these criteria, and that is option letter D. 7/15/24, July 15, 2024. Then, outcome not met. So, yun ang statement about the outcome. Client reports no change in vaping. This is the evidence to support that outcome was not met.